the batiks and the shoes, Tan Sri Neo, in the 1950s. Norman tells me she died in an accident on the way to Johor, on the way to a Jiki game in Johor. Then we have this amazing collection of jewels belonging to Evelyn Lim. It's very interesting because she is the only daughter of an only daughter of an only daughter. So she has inherited a collection of jewels intact. And it's an interesting. It's worth an exhibition in itself because it's a complete set of everything that a bibi would have of that period. A fairly wealthy Nyonya from Riau. They live between Riau and Singapore. Evelyn is not married, and her mother and grandmother passed away, and she's extremely emotionally attached to these objects because they're the only thing. She has no aunts, she has no siblings. They're all that her family has. And that's Evelyn as a young girl. She was too shy to be photographed. I wanted to include photographs of the current owners to bring, the present back, bring the objects back to the present. But I persuaded her to include a picture of herself with her grandmother. Then we also have Mrs. Kuponio's necklace. I think the amazing thing is this necklace was probably only ever worn once, belonging to her mother, Chiang Dinyo, and her father, Ong Cheng Bi. They were also married in the 1930s, and this is her as a young bride in the family house. The Ong family had a big house in River Valley, and this is the interior of the Ong Yu Hai house. It was a wonderful, again, interesting combination of Chinese furniture and colonial. It was a huge mansion, I think. I also, Kwek Keng Wah is one of the docents here, and I really wanted to include contemporary jewels as well. And also, interestingly, this is one of the only objects that is the opposite of an heirloom. It was not inherited, it was the opposite. It was given by Keng Wah to her mother. So it's gone the other way, which I thought was a wonderful thing to do. Here is the mother wearing the pendant that was made by Foundation Jewelers. It's one of the few jewelers that are still making Peranakan jewelry. And sadly, her mother passed away, and now it has come back to Keng Wah. Then we also have this amazing documented items of beadwork that was given to Wu Lian Te or Dr. Ngo Lian Tak by his mother. Seen here, seated in the middle, and that's Wu Lian Te on the right. He was, of course, the famous doctor and medical hero of China who sort of, I think, solved all these epidemics. There's a lot of history, sorry, I can't exactly recall right now. And of course, again, another interesting sort of, in handicrafts, I mean, we don't only have beadwork and embroidery, we also have crochet and this wonderful little coatee, a baby's little coat from the 1920s, belonging to Tan Ping Lui, who was one of the pioneer docents of Friends from Friends Museum. That's her as a little girl. And that's her with her mother, Mrs. Chan Si On, who crocheted the coatee. And they lived in a house in Orange Grove Road. Then we have these sports trophies that belonging to Chia King Tai, who was a pioneer in sort of music and sports in the early 20th century for the Straits Chinese community. This is him standing at the back on the right. with his wife in front of him. That's the tennis court in their family house in near Devonshire Road. And this is the front hall. You can see there's a little cabinet at the back where they kept all the trophies. And then I have these group of objects belonging. Interestingly, these lacquer baskets were all made in Eng Chun, also, which is where Tan Jiak Kim and my family came from. And that belonging to the family of Yeo Ai Lin, who was also one of the early, possibly the first Chinese batik shop owners in Singapore in Arab Street. That's her seated in the middle with the glasses in the 1960s, I suppose. That is her. She came from Semarang, I think, and that's her as a young woman, businesswoman in Singapore. She made a lot of money also in property transactions and with a batik shop. Her granddaughter Karen Goh inherited all these things. Now I'm showing you this interesting picture. Okay, I end with this picture because Karen Goh, who is the granddaughter of this lady, well, this Yeo Ai Lin is her paternal grandmother. This lady, I found out, is her maternal great-grandmother. Her name is Ho Sok Chu. She was known as Mrs. Wee Siang Tat, the granddaughter of Wee Bin, the owners of the Wee House, the Baba House, the Wee Bin family that used to own the Baba House, which is another project I'm doing. She inherited half his money, which explains the size of her krosang, which, as you can see, her name was Ho Sok Chu, so you can see HSC. She has this monogram krosang. There are very interesting stories about her, which I'm not able to get into, but you will have to wait for the opening of the Baba House for that. So, thank you.